Some new updates on raising SSI benefits, otherwise known as supplemental security income, for nearly 10 million beneficiaries. Let's get into it and discuss all of the new updates. Welcome everyone, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video, as it's totally free to do so, and I am back each and every day in videos just like this one, giving you all of the latest updates as information is changing very rapidly during this time. I do a lot of research on this stuff every single day. I boil all the information down into these short videos and do whatever I possibly can to help you out through this time. I am very much committed to this community and to each and every one of you to help out in any way I can. So again, please make sure to subscribe right down below the video if you haven't done so yet, and share this video with your friends, family, and social media so we can continue to help out even more people during this very difficult and confusing time. So again, thank you so much. Let's get into it and talk about these very important updates on the SSI program and raising benefits, as we've been talking about for a few months now. All right, so this is actually in reference to the SSI Restoration Act. Now, we've talked about this a number of times over the last few months here, and once again, it is back in the news again. This has been in the news a lot lately. In fact, I've been giving you a few updates lately because things continue to come out on this, and it continues to get really good. In fact, in the last update, I came out and told you the president has endorsed the SSI Restoration Act to be included into this reconciliation bill. That's amazing. I mean, seriously, the endorsement from the president is huge to be added into the reconciliation bill. Just remember really quickly, and then we'll get into the latest updates on this. Just remember, this whole reconciliation bill and the stimulus packages and all this stuff going on right now is the idea of the president. So if he endorses something and Democrats get word of that, of course, they're going to jump on it because they're thinking, hey, this is the president's plan anyway. Let's add it into the package because he wants it, right? This whole thing is the Build Back Better plan. It's all the president's plan, right? So this is amazing. This is so good for SSI individuals, beneficiaries, nearly 10 million people receiving SSI on an ongoing monthly basis. Awesome stuff, right? All right, so the latest updates being, according to some recent polls, yes, there are some polls out there talking about SSI. You probably wouldn't believe that, but yes, in fact, there are. I actually just came across one. Recent polling suggests that many people, like the vast majority of people out there, actually do support reforming SSI and ultimately raising benefits. That is a huge win for SSI beneficiaries because the simple fact is the general public out there supporting the idea of raising SSI and helping out all of these beneficiaries is a huge win. In fact, this is actually going to be very expensive. So the fact is, if we get the general public to get behind the idea of raising these benefits for these nearly 10 million beneficiaries, that is a huge win. In fact, just to throw a price tag on this, it would cost a little bit over $500 billion over the course of 10 years. That's a lot of money, $500 billion over 10 years. I'm not saying it's not a good idea. I'm simply saying it's a great idea, and the fact that we have the support from the general public is a big win. That is a huge thing right there. That is really good. Because if the general public was coming out saying, no, we don't need to do that, then they might look at this and say, well, we don't really have the support for this thing. Maybe we shouldn't be doing it. But no, that is not the case at all. We have the support from the general public. Nice, right? That is a huge win right there. That is good stuff. All right, another update. The Urban Institute was out recently in a report, and they said simply by raising SSI benefits to 100% of the federal poverty line, it would raise an additional 3.3 million people out of poverty this year alone. That would be huge as well. Another 3.3 million people that Democrats can add to the tally and say, hey, check it out. Because of our work, because of our initiatives, because of the things that we're doing, these programs that we are implementing, we have raised an additional 3.3 million people out of poverty this year. That would be in addition to the 3.4 million kids that would be lifted out of poverty as a result of the child tax credit. Again, more people being lifted out of poverty. Remember, we need to keep note of this because this is something that Democrats have talked about many times, where they want to lift as many people as they can out of poverty this year and indefinitely going into the future. So the more people that this can lift out of poverty, the bigger win it is for Democrats. And remember, the reason I'm singling out and talking about Democrats is because they are the ones who are behind the reconciliation bill. They are the ones who are crafting this bill and who are ultimately bringing it all to the table. They're the ones who will have full control of the reconciliation bill. So that's why I'm saying Democrats. I'm not simply taking sides. That's not what I'm doing at all. I'm just saying it's all Democrats. They're the ones who are doing the reconciliation bill. So hope that makes sense. But pretty cool stuff right here, right? This is awesome for SSI beneficiaries. Now, again, they want to add this into the reconciliation bill. And as of right now, we have the endorsement and we have this group of Democrats who are currently working on this thing, the SSI Restoration Act, and they absolutely do want to add it into the reconciliation bill. This is super cool, right? So let's quickly hit on this one more time now. So one more thing I want to circle back to and talk about for just a second. The Urban Institute, once again, talked about these 3.3 million people that'd be lifted out of poverty. However, I guess I'm a little bit confused on that. The reason being is, if somebody is living on SSI, the maximum benefit right now is $794 each and every year. If you receive SSI, you also recognize you can only have about $2,000 in savings or in assets, essentially. Otherwise, you would not be eligible to receive SSI. Therefore, if you have very limited cash, as in money in the bank, in the checking account, savings account, assets to your name, things like this, if you can only have a few $1,000s, a couple $1,000s worth, your income at maximum would be $794 as a result of SSI. By definition, you would be living in poverty. Okay, well, if we raise benefits to 100% of the federal poverty line, which would be $1,073 each and every month, then wouldn't it lift everybody out of poverty that receives SSI? I mean, all beneficiaries? I mean, that's how I do the math anyway, right? So again, I'm not doubting what Urban Institute is saying. I'm simply saying that they have a great point here. It'd lift a lot of people out of poverty, but I think the number would be pretty much everybody in receiving SSI should be lifted out of poverty. I think that's the whole point behind raising the benefits, right? Is to lift all of the beneficiaries up to the federal poverty line, which is that $1,073 each and every month, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what I'm seeing with this thing, which is ultimately the goal. The point that I'm making is we want to lift all of the beneficiaries out of poverty and raise them up to that $1,073 each and every month, which would be the federal poverty line, right? Good stuff, right? So one other cool thing about this, and I've talked about this before, but I want to hit on this again because I think that there's maybe still some confusion about this based on some comments I'm seeing down below. They want to remove the marriage penalty with this SSI Restoration Act. So the cool thing about that is, if you're receiving SSI right now, you know that if you get married, well, unfortunately, your benefit gets reduced, pretty much, right? As a result of getting married, you do not double your benefit, but rather you get like 150% or something. You know what I mean? It's not the exact amount, but I'm saying your benefit ultimately does get reduced if you get married. So one cool thing about the SSI Restoration Act would be, when you get married, they remove the penalty, so therefore your benefit would actually double. If you're both eligible for SSI, yes, your benefit would actually double. So if it actually goes up to the 100% of the federal poverty line, which is that $1,073 each and every month, your benefit would actually double. So it'd be $2,146. Cool, right? That is so cool. I think that a lot of people maybe kind of have overlooked that and maybe thinking, my benefit, it's going to get whacked if I get married and it actually does go up to the federal poverty line. Well, no. In fact, if they do remove the marriage penalty, your benefit would in fact double for both of you. So you'd rather be getting $1,073 per person times 2, which is $2,146 every single month for a married couple. That's awesome right there, right? So, I mean, think of how that would be life-changing. Right now, for a married couple, your benefit is like $1,200, right? It's a little over $1,200, something like that. But you'd be getting a raise of about $900, essentially. That'd be pretty cool. I mean, seriously, think of what that would do for your life if you were a married couple. That'd be a huge, huge difference, right? A raise of your income by about $900 or so. That'd be pretty big, right? So anyway, one more cool thing that they want to do about this, and again, I've hit on this before, but I just want to reiterate this one more time and just mention it. They do want to raise the resource limits, once again, for everybody, up to $10,000 as an individual or $20,000 as a married couple. So again, rather than being penalized for having $2,001 in your accounts or to your name, rather than that as an individual, you could get up to $10,000 that you could stick away. Pretty cool. That'd be able to allow you to stick away maybe like a rainy day fund, sometime with things like this, or $20,000 as a married couple. Again, that'd be so helpful, especially if we went into another situation like 2020. Yeah, right? Be pretty nice to be able to stick away $10,000 as an individual or $20,000 as a married couple and, have something to lean back on in the event we get into another kind of difficult situation. So pretty cool stuff coming out here about the SSI Restoration Act. Again, we've been seeing a lot of updates on this lately. It's nice, like I've been talking about before. The more updates and the more frequently that we see some updates on these very important programs like this, the higher likelihood we'll probably see something like this in the reconciliation bill, and more importantly, going forward, that it'll actually may happen, because when we kind of hear about things frequently, it's, it just means that they're working on it. If we don't hear about something for many, many months, it's like, well, is it actually going to happen, or did they just forget about it like so many other proposals out there? But the SSI Restoration Act is looking pretty promising. So again, I don't want to get anybody's hopes up and say that it's a 100% guarantee. Nothing is a guarantee at this point, but I do want to let you know that we're seeing this come up, I would say at least weekly. I am seeing updates on this thing every single week lately, which is a good sign. So hope this helps you out. Again, subscribe right down below, totally free to do so. Share this video with your friends, family, and social media. And again, make sure to watch all my videos going forward, as we have a lot of good stuff coming out here. There's a lot of updates, a lot of things that are changing, and I'll continue to be here for you every single day to give you all those latest updates. So thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it. I'll be here for you every single day. Subscribe down below, share the videos, and of course, go back and check out some other videos right here on the channel. Thanks again. I appreciate it, and I'll catch you